Well, believe it or not, for the first time this season, the Edmonton Oilers meet the San Jose Sharks, and we get to welcome in Jack Michaels to Game Keys. And Jack, I have to ask you about Macklin Celebrini, the season that he's having, leading the way for his team. He's on pace for 125 points. What can you say about this young kid?
Well, I thought you were going to ask me, is this finally the night that Edmonton breaks the three-game winning streak curse? This is crack number 10 at it. But, you know, Macklin Celebrini is going to do his best to kind of keep that flowing. He has been a remarkable player for the San Jose Sharks in his year and a half in the league. It's very reminiscent of what Connor McDavid did in his first 2 years in the league, where despite having a season shortened by a broken collarbone, he still provided glimpses of what was to come and then turned in a 100-point MVP season and leading the Oilers back to the playoffs in 2017. Much the same holds true with San Jose this year. If you think about it, the Oilers made the playoffs for the first time in 11 years back in 2017. The San Jose Sharks have not been in the postseason since 2019. And after teasing you with what he could do last year, Macklin Celebrini has been on full display this season. And as a result, he's not only a force to be reckoned with in terms of perhaps single-handedly leading the San Jose club back to the postseason for the first time in 7 years. You then would have to, especially if San Jose made the postseason, look at the Hart Trophy and look at most valuable player, because he's got more than double the points of the next highest scorer on the San Jose roster, much as Taylor Hall did for the New Jersey Devils when he led them to the playoffs in 2018. And then you also have to factor in what we're going to see in a couple weeks, where Macklin Celebrini is part of a Team Canada roster that up front looks awfully imposing when you roll out McKinnon, McDavid, and Celebrini. And yes, it is time to include him in that conversation. He's earned that right.
Which is so exciting for us to be able to witness here at Rogers Place. You mentioned the Olympics coming up in just a couple of weeks, but I want to ask you about that three-game stretch. This has been a quirky stat this year.
Yeah.
What do you think is up with that? Is it just something weird that's going on?
I think Edmonton has been treading water all year, because the Oilers also haven't gone in the other direction. They lost 3 in a row once earlier this year. You know, they haven't gone on an extended losing streak that would put them in a significant hole, unlike what we've seen the last couple years, where the Oilers did put themselves in a hole that they had to dig out of. Right. Edmonton has been at or near the Pacific Division lead almost all season. And in fact, depending on results tonight, including a win over San Jose, could reclaim the top spot in the Pacific tonight, coupled with a Vegas loss. And Vegas hasn't been very good. Actually, since Christmas, you look at San Jose, they're 10-4. They've played well. They have been more consistent. The thing with San Jose is very similar to what we saw against Anaheim the other night. San Jose is often brilliant offensively, but they are still struggling to defend. They are still a bottom 5 league when it comes to goals against, and a bottom 5 league when it comes to expected goals against, if you want to look at it a little bit deeper. They're going to go with Alex Nedeljkovic tonight, and you know, based on what I've seen from San Jose, while explosive offensively, he's going to have a game against the Oilers, because as we've seen on this homestand, Edmonton is heated up offensively. Now, if you omit the 2 empty netters against Anaheim, that's still 11 goals in the last 2 games. This is an explosive attack, and they have absolutely dominated San Jose in recent years. 6 wins in a row, 14 out of 15 by a combined 67-26. It not only has been all Edmonton, but it's often not been close. Right. That's why Nedeljkovic is going to have to play well tonight, and we're going to see whether San Jose is ready for this step up in weight class. Edmonton already fought off a new challenger in Anaheim earlier in the week. Right. They're going to have to do the same thing tonight.
So from one netminder to another, it'll be Connor Ingram looking for a big bounce-back game, of course, after Saturday night against the Capitals. And then Matthias Ekholm, he's day-to-day. He was on the ice for optional skate this morning, but still questionable whether he'll play tonight. So when Edmonton, the conversation shifts to them and the fact that they're trying to keep their goals against down. We've seen it creep up a little bit. What do you think needs to happen, or is that okay because they still have won games that way?
Well, I mean, they have the most wins in the league when giving up 4 goals. Yeah. But San Jose's second in that department. So, you know, ultimately, you're going to have to button it down, Paige. I mean, you and I both know they can't give up 4 a game and expect to go anywhere. This is still about the long game for Edmonton. This is still a game that tonight means more to San Jose than it does to Edmonton. This is a measuring stick game for the Sharks. This is a are you ready for prime time type of game. In answer to your question, and I think you already know the answer, there's no way Matthias Ekholm's missing tonight. He's coming off a hat trick. There's going to be some maintenance days for Edmonton's veteran guys coming into the stretch. And, you know, Matthias Ekholm is starting to play really well, but he's also playing hard minutes. So you're going to see those maintenance days for some of the Oilers veterans, you know, heading into the Olympic break and even coming out of it. There's going to be times down the stretch where Edmonton is thinking, just leave us in the top three. San Jose is trying to get into the playoffs. San Jose, at this stage, is in a different stage than Edmonton. They're trying to finish as high as possible in the standings. So I think Edmonton is working on its game as a whole. Ekholm's a big part of that, obviously. Connor Ingram, I think, was a little bit unlucky the other night against Washington. Quite frankly, I'm not so sure that had the replay been instantly available where it kind of caromed off the shin pad of Spencer Stastny and went 5-hole on him, I'm not so sure he doesn't stay in the game, because I don't lay a great deal of what happened at the feet of Connor Ingram. And, of course, Tristan Jarry came in and got the win in relief. Ingram's been solid. Edmonton's goaltending, by and large, until this week, which still includes 2 victories, has been solid since Christmas, since the acquisition of Tristan Jarry and since the promotion of Connor Ingram. And that includes Calvin Pickard, who's better than 91 save percentage in his last 5 appearances. So I think the goals against is a work in progress for both clubs, but I believe that Edmonton's game is more suited for the long term. They're not worried about what it looks like right now. They're worried about what it looks like in mid-April.
Well, and come mid-February, we're going to be able to see Macklin Celebrini and Connor McDavid team up for Team Canada at the Olympics.
Tonight he's the enemy.
Tonight he's the enemy. In a few weeks he won't be, but we're all focused on tonight right here at Rogers Place. Jack, thank you so much.
Well, he'll be my enemy in a couple weeks. You're
well,
talking
that's
to an American,
true.
of course.
Yeah,
But
sorry about that.
Yeah, the United States is in for a tough one dealing with those 3.
Can't wait. See you tonight, Oil Country.